Let's talk about the royal news. King Charles saying that he'll support police in their investigation into Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, his brother, over those links with Jeffrey Epstein. The King, of course, has been under a lot of pressure, Josh. What's going to happen here?
Well, there's been pressure from a lot of things. Actually, I want to treat this a little bit as confession time, because you probably may have seen video clips of the King being heckled in walkabouts, and usually this is usually a good kind of way to measure public appearance about the public opinion about certain royal scandals, whatever. But what I would say to when we look at footage like that, I want to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, a little bit of skepticism. Because I also know that there are fringe Republican organizations that are effectively planting hecklers in those specific walkabout places in order to purposely distort the narrative and create trouble and kind of attempt to stir up Republicanism sentiment. And we see this actually because a lot of the crowds who do show up to see the King on these walkabouts are actually big monarchists, big royalists that are actually delighted to see the King and Queen, and actually are the same ones saying shut up or boo or get out the way, go home, because they want to see the King in a nice environment. So I will say, treat some of the walkabout footage with a little bit of skepticism. However, there has been pressure for the royal family to do more when it comes to Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. And this week, I've been asking a few commentators on Twitter, what more can the royals do? There is no HRH title, no patronages, no royal duties, no public role. He was practically evicted from his huge mansion. He's now only living a very quiet life away from the public eye that's going to be privately funded by his brother. But now the King is also saying, bearing in mind there has been an extremely pointed shift this week when it comes to the statements. And the King said in the statement, or effectively the palace have said, the King has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions, again emphasizing the unprecedented actions, taking the very title of prince away from Andrew, the title that was effectively his birthright, away from him, and saying his profound concern at allegations that which continue to come to light in respect of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. And effectively saying, yes, they'll cooperate with the police, Thames Valley Police, again, investigating Andrew due to a complaint made by a Republican organization, a specific Republican organization trying to stir up trouble for the royal family there. But this is an unprecedented shift, even though he didn't necessarily ever mention the word Epstein explicitly by name in the statement. We know the attitude of the palace now is very explicit towards Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, and that is, you are now on your own. You are no longer protected by the royal family. You are no longer protected by Buckingham Palace. You have no role in the firm. You have no role in the institution. If it comes to extradition, we are not going to stand in the way. And that is effectively the message that the palace is wanting to evoke now, because as much as it is, the public is disgusted by Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, they are. The palace, I would say, yes, there has been a certain lack of transparency throughout the process, and questions are being asked, who knew what, when, even questioning the late Queen. Unfortunately, well, we know she has a bit of a blind spot when it came to her favourite son. But the palace now is basically through, as they're trying to emphasise, through these statements, through these quote unquote unprecedented actions, that there is a zero tolerance approach when it comes to Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor now.